Thank you for your interest in learning how our suite of products can help improve cybersecurity, safety, and compliance in your district's online learning and working environment. Managed Methods is the only company providing cybersecurity and safety for Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, and online browsing specifically for K-12 schools. Our three products, Cloud Monitor, Content Filter, and Classroom Manager, make cybersecurity and safety easy and affordable. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to give you an idea of how you can gain visibility and control you need to monitor, alert, respond to different cyber incidents when time is of the essence. No proxy, no agent, and no special training is needed. Starting with our flagship product, Cloud Monitor. There are three features that I'm going to be taking a look at today with you. The first is going to be the risk section of the platform, which is going to go out and look for potential areas of concern, whether those be social security numbers, credit card numbers, indications of self-harm, or other custom risk scans, which might be going out and looking for areas of potential concern there. The second will be looking at login activity and potential users logging in from outside the United States. And then the last one will be looking into some information on file and email activity. Hopping over to the Risks tab, the Risks tab will provide visibility into Drive files, Gmail, and shared drive files, and it's specifically going to help pull out information that might be cause of concern. Again, that information can vary on what it might be, so it can really range from anything from looking for social security numbers to credit card numbers to something else that might be cause for concern there. With any of these, you've got an ability to drill into the actual incident itself. There'll be information provided. So if I go ahead and click into this one here as an example, there's going to be some information provided about what was flagged by the platform here. I've got ways to take a look at that and do a further review as necessary. There's some different actions I'm able to take on that risk right from here as well. I could even take potential notes on this risk if it was some kind of incident that required further follow-up or things of that nature. These risks are very customizable, and they allow you to have the platform do some of the heavy lifting and quickly find some things for you without having to do a lot of configuration and things like that. So we've got a number of out-of-the-box risk scans, and then that can be expanded upon depending on preference there. So lots of different kinds of things, anything from looking for, again, more of the student safety or the data loss prevention side of things, but even things that may not be typical risk scans, such as looking for students potentially using proxy files or mentioning proxies or talking about ways to play games or get around content filtering or things of that nature there. Coupled with the Risks tab will be a very powerful policy section, which will allow you to have the platform take automatic action in many instances. So if somebody shares a file to the outside that they shouldn't have, you'll be able to have the platform automatically break those share permissions or delete an email coming into the domain with a specific subject line. So there's a lot of flexibility that you can use coupled with those risk scans to have the platform take some direct action for you. So that will be one of the core components of the platform, one of the major areas there. Next will be accounts here and taking a look specifically at login activity. One of the big issues that we see in both Google and in Microsoft as well too is issues with users logging in from places they shouldn't be, especially logins from outside the United States. So here over in the Google environment, I'm going to go ahead and apply a quick filter here for unapproved. So the platform has a default geofence where everything outside the United States is considered unapproved. There are specific policies again to provide alert notifications. Login activity is going to be looked at every 4 hours, so the platform can then also suspend accounts or reset passwords as well too. With any of these events, you're able to quickly take a look at them. You'll get some basic information. So is it a successful login? How do they get into the environment here? So in this case, they're using their Google password to access the account. We can even go ahead and run those IP addresses against a database to go ahead and see if they're part of any VPNs or proxies as well too. So with this can be really helpful to help identify potential compromised accounts, students using VPNs, or sometimes it'll be a situation where someone's just thankfully traveling. But especially the compromised accounts where we see a lot of potential issues coming up, especially when we take a look at something on the Google side like a suspicious unapproved login. So this would be a login event that Google classified as suspicious, but it still let the person access their account. These are where we do see, unfortunately, some of those compromised accounts and where there can be a problem. Again, even a student account, if it's compromised, can potentially give a bad actor quite a bit of access to things, especially if your students have ability to email at all. Those could be used then to target your own users within the domain for emails, or it could be then used to just spam the world potentially as well too. So definitely something you want to keep a very close eye on are those accounts that are logging in from outside the United States, and then make sure that is that something where someone's using a VPN or is that a possible compromised account. And if it's a compromised account, coming back over to accounts here, we've got abilities to quickly suspend accounts or reset passwords. You can even further dig into those accounts directly by running report against the Have I Been Pwned database to see if the user was part of any known data breaches. You can also go ahead and suspend, unsuspend, or change the user's password from here as well too. Again, a lot of that can be automated as well too, where you have the platform automatically change a password or reset a password or suspend the account just depending on preference. There can be some limitations to that. And again, that data does come in every 4 hours, but this can be really valuable to give you a good sense of what's going on within the environment, where people logging in from, is there a potential problem we weren't aware of before. The other two major areas of the Cloud Monitor product are going to be the Drive Files and the Gmail tab. Specifically in here, there's going to be something called the Live File Search. There's a lot of great information on the Drive Files tab to start with, but this is a very powerful search tool which allows you to do a live API call throughout the entire domain to look for whatever specific files you're trying to locate. So we could go ahead and actually drop that modify date. As long as the files exist in the domain and the account's not been suspended or the files haven't been completely deleted, this should be able to track those files down. So you could use this to do more deep dive searches for their investigations into users. So if there is a user that has issues or there's a problem or something like that going on, you can use this to go ahead and investigate further. So for example, I might say, hey, I'm concerned that there might be some audio video files that exist out there. Now this would be a pretty broad search here, but I could go ahead and narrow that down potentially if I've got specific users in mind or things of that nature there. And then with any of these users, I'm able to quickly click into it, see what's going on. I could go ahead and take some different actions on that, including breaking the file share if I need to, if the file is being shared in different ways. I'm able to quickly click in and see some basic information as well too. So here I can see that there's 3 people that this file has been shared to. So very easy to go ahead and kind of quickly take an investigation a little bit further, figure out, does the user have something that we weren't aware of, or maybe that's not something that we were able to quickly easily find here. So that's going to be a very powerful feature there with the live file search. And then the Drive Files tab itself has some very powerful features with looking into the user's folder structure, as well as just the more recently modified and files that have had their share permissions changed there. The next major feature is going to be over in the Gmail tab and the live email search. So this search works a lot like it does over on the Drive Files tab, again designed to do a live API call, go out and track down specific emails that meet your search criteria. Now this one does require a little bit more of a receive date potentially, unless you input other parameters there, but again this can go back very far. As long as the email in this case exists, this should be able to go ahead and track that email down, or as long as the account is still active here. So with this I could go ahead and change this. I could go ahead and set a broader time frame if I wanted to, and then there's a lot of different parameters you can use here, anything from sender to recipients to subject line, even to specific mailboxes. So if I'm concerned that there maybe is one specific person here who I need to do a little bit of a further investigation into, I'm able to go ahead and quickly take a look at those emails, see what's going on with the particular user in question, and take actions as needed here as well too. So once the emails are pulled up, we're able to quickly see those different emails that the user has here. We can quickly go through. We've got options to go ahead and download those emails, pull them down as local copies to take a look at. I could also go ahead and outright delete emails. So I could delete it from everyone's inbox, or I could go ahead and just delete it from this specific user if I wanted to. I can also do a mass selection to quickly delete multiple emails out of the environment. I can change my number of rows here up to 100 per page. So there's some really easy ways to go ahead and do more mass deletion as well too. So really great tool in those situations where someone sends an email domain-wide, or there's an email coming in from the outside, or there's just needed investigation to go ahead and dive into an individual user's Gmail and see what's going on there. So those are going to be the major features here and some of the different feature functionalities. Again, there's a lot more within the Cloud Monitor product, but those are 3 very powerful components that exist within the Cloud Monitor product that can be really useful in some of those further investigations or taking actions on some of those different areas, such as concerns potentially about people sharing things that they shouldn't be, that might contain social security numbers or credit card numbers, or it might be a situation where there's some potential compromised accounts or things like that. Cloud Monitor tool can give you some really easy ways to go ahead and further dig into that and take action there as well.